Good afternoon, everyone. Make a start. Welcome to the Armed Forces Community Covenant Signatories panel. Nice to see so many people in the room. I'd like you, if you could introduce yourself, so we'll go around the room this way.
Yeah, Gareth Bosden from Democratic Services.
Can you put your mic on? The mic is the hand right in front of you.
Thank you,
If
Chair.
speak,
Good afternoon.
Turn it off when you finish.
Good afternoon. Stephen Sullivan from Adfedi Ed Recovery Armed Forces networking team.
Natalie McComb, Local Area Coordinator for Swansea Council.
I'm Andrew Price, Director of Dryad Bushcraft Community Interest Company, so we're based on Gower.
Tony Hayward, Armed Forces Bikers.
Martin, Deputy Lieutenant, Third Lieutenant of questionable concern.
Tony, can you turn yours off? Oh, you've done it now. It's gone now.
Nick Marsh, Veterans Club.
Adrian Raby, British Training Board.
Ross Edwards, Garrison Farm.
Paul Smiths, Veterans RV.
Major Tracy Brooks, I'm representing Swansea Veterans Hub today, but I also work in the Army Operation Legacy branch, which deals with all of the continuing legal proceedings of legacy operations like Northern Ireland. So we've got a vested interest in the veteran space, and I'm very pleased to be here today. Thank you.
Hugh Williams, Captain Hugh Williams, yeah, getting that, you know, permanent staff admin officer for 223 Transport Squadron down at the Grange, and task force lead for Swansea, Neath and Port Talbot.
Victoria Williams, I'm the clinical lead for Veterans NHS Wales.
Spencer Martin, Swansea Council.
And for those who don't know me, I'm Councillor Wendy Lewis. I'm Armed Forces Champion and Chair of this meeting. We'll start on the agenda now. Thank you very much. Agenda item 1, apologies for absence.
Yeah, with a couple, Chair from Louise Huxtable, John Hinkin and Debbie Hamer.
Thank you. Agenda item 2, disclosure of personal and prejudicial interest from members. Anyone? A few of you might not have seen the minutes, but I hope you have read them. So I take the silence as they're all okay then. Okay. Agenda item 4. Bethan.
Hello everyone. I am here. I was in a meeting in Bridgend this morning, so we've did them both on Teams to get them both in on one day. So hi everyone. Not much.
Bethan,
really.
can I just ask? Can I just ask you to introduce yourself, because a lot of people might not know you.
Yeah,
and
sorry.
Anybody else who speaks on the screen, please.
Sorry, yeah, Bethan Denedy, the Armed Forces Liaison Officer covering Bridgend, Neath, Talbot and Swansea. So yeah, I had a meeting with the Bridgend Armed Forces Champions at like 10:30 this morning. So, and then this one this afternoon. So otherwise I wouldn't have been able to come to both. So luckily we're quite fortunate when it comes to being able to do things on Teams. So just some brief updates from me. The Armed Forces Covenant Duty came into effect on the 22nd of November 2022. I'm sure most of you are aware. So that means that the Armed Forces Covenant is actually law now. It's difficult to say what impact it's going to have really, because what they say is that the legal obligation falls on housing, education and healthcare, but we knew that beforehand. And like I said, there's lots of people here already, you know, the council, Victoria here from the health board, for example, Swansea Bay University Health Board, they have their own forum as well. So I think when it comes to due regard, we'll have to see how things go down the line as well, because there's not much actual in terms of outlining what needs to be done. It's more or less good practice that they give examples of. So it's something just to keep an eye on and just for everybody to be aware. I have the guidance links. I can post them in the chat when I've finished speaking. The next point I just wanted to bring up was the census data. All we've been told at the moment is we've been given the amount, you know, who's served in the army, etc., who serves in the reserves, and the percentages in the area. So in Swansea, the percentage of anyone who served in the armed forces was 4.1% out of the total population of 197,000, which is about average for Wales. As time goes on, hopefully we'll get more information and we'll be able to see the intricacies of where people are, what their family makeup is, etc. And that then will be able to help in terms of that due regard, in terms of housing, education, etc. down the line. So that's interesting and something again to keep in mind. Funding at the moment, there's no Armed Forces Covenant Trust funding open at this time. I'll keep an eye on it just to see when anything else gets updated and anything else new opens, and I'll ask Gareth to send that out to everyone when anything comes up. Currently, the Veterans Foundation has a grant that's open, but that closes on the 6th of February, so there's not much time left. But that's something, and it is quite a substantial amount. So I'll put that link in, and Gareth can put that into the minutes then, and it'll be there for anybody to access on the chat as well. Armed Forces Day this year takes place on the 24th of June, so I know people will be looking ahead to that. There is Armed Forces Day funding available on the website, but it's match funding. So again, that's something that people need to be aware of. And lastly, thank you to everyone who submitted articles for the January All Wales newsletter. That's been published and sent out to everyone. So thank you for those who sent in articles. We're looking forward now to the June the June publish date, which it seems really early, but we have to get the articles in at the end of March because they then need to be translated into Welsh, and it is quite a hefty document. So we're looking at the 25th of March if anybody wants to get anything sent in to me to be put into the next newsletter. It would be a maximum of 500 words, and any images need to be JPEGs or PNG files as well, and they will be sent to me and I can get them translated. Or if you are a charity and you are able to translate it for free, that would be even more beneficial because I have to pay if I need to get anything translated, and there are certain facilities out there for charities to be able to get things translated for free. So thank you very much for that if you are able to do that. Any questions though, just give me a bell and I'll be able to help you out with that. So not much else at the moment. We're just seeing what's going forward. So if you've got any questions, let me know. Oh, I'll put the link in the group, Kirsty. It's I can't remember now. It's called like I want to say Hello Dolly, but it's not Hello Dolly. Anyway, I'll find the link and I'll pop it into the chat there. So has anybody got any more questions apart from Kirsty there?
Anyone got any questions for Bethan? No.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Bethan.
Very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda item 5, update from Emily. Who, please?
Thanks, Wendy. So I'll cover the Army piece first, and I'll call on Lieutenant Commander Andrew Davis to give a Royal Navy perspective, and also Wing Commander Fry hopefully can give an air perspective. So from the Army, Christmas period has been fairly quiet. We have, however, seen some of our reservists be mobilised in support of MOD activities. I can't explain what they are on this, but if you read the news, listen to it, I think you know what's going on. So a couple of our boys are now mobilised in support of those operations. So next week, we have the next military support meeting with the Lord Mayor to look at forthcoming events in and around the Swansea area. And some of the topics that we will be discussing, the first one is Month of the Military Child, which is April this year. We're going to run an event in the Grange. So I'd like, if you can come along, Wendy, it'll be on the 25th of April. Okay, we got the Army engagement team coming in. We're hoping to have the RAF engagement team and the Royal Navy engagement teams there. Plus SOFIT, Phil Jones is coming in with his team, and there's a couple of other stands there. We're looking at circa 160 service children from the Swansea Neath Port Talbot area, which will be great if we can get them all in. So they're going to come in on the 25th of April, various stands for them to go around, interact with, and get mingling like we did at Cumbrombill, get the children together, coming in from different schools, and engaging with each other, because they've all got something in common. They're all military children, and that's what we're trying to build there, is to get them working together. On the 6th of May, as we're pretty much all aware, is the King's coronation. I've been in dialogue with the Lord Lieutenant's office in relation to what the ask is for Swansea. We were hoping to do a parade through the city centre. However, as per everything at the moment, the costs for road closures and the likes are quite expensive, talking circa £4,000 as a minimum. And the Lieutenancy office felt that £4,000 could be better spent supporting charities and the likes of, rather than closing roads off. More will come out from the Lord Lieutenant's office in relation to what Swansea are going to deliver in support of the King's coronation. It's looking like it won't be on the 6th of May. It's potentially going to be the week before, where we'll go to St Mary's Church and hold an event in there. I'm just waiting for the final detail to come out of that, and once we've got that, then I can push it out. As Bethan's alluded to, Armed Forces Day, Armed Forces Week is the 19th to the 25th of June. 19th of June, for those who are not Swansea based, up in Neath and Port Talbot, we'll be there on the Monday, raising the flags for Armed Forces Day in both those civic offices. And then on Saturday, the 24th of June, down here in Swansea, out on the parade there. Last year was an absolutely cracking event. Hopefully we can mirror what last year looked like. And then a lot of my focus is currently on the planning for the Wales National Air Show. So the Army element of that. I know that Phil, Wing Commander Flower, is working from the air side of life, and Andy Davis from the sea. But again, a massive frontage there. I've had quite a few confirmations of attendance from military units, which is great. The REME are coming down this year as well with one of their recovery vehicles and some other kit. So, and a few of the charities have come back already as well, saying that they are going to attend. So if as a charity and a covenant signatory, if you would like a table, a stand within our little village, catch up with me at the end of this. I'll take your details, because I probably haven't sent you an email. If you've received an email off me, great. But if you haven't, I can then get you onto the list. We'll have a marquee there, and that's where you guys can go in with your charity tables and the likes of. We're also working with a couple of other groups. Yes, the Asian group, they would like us to go in and talk to the ladies, because they feel that women within those ethnic minority groupings don't have a firm understanding of what the military delivers, because we're a different military to some of the countries of origin that they are from, bless them. So I'm just waiting for them to come back now, and I'll go in there and give them a briefing of the humanitarian support and the military aid to civil agencies that we deliver, and that's our role now as reserve forces. I'd like to express a thanks of gratitude to you, Wendy, in particular, okay, for the assistance that you gave one of our families before Christmas. Without that, we could have been in dire straits there, so thank you very much there. Andy, I'll hand over to you now, mate, and then once Andy's finished, if Steve could then give an A perspective. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, Councillor Lewis. Sorry I can't be in attendance. Really very plan to be there next time. Mr. Govia, Rob Govia, is unable to attend. So we've had a quick chat, and he just let me know that they're planning for events now for the next 6 months. We had a planning meeting, in fact, week before last, with Brigadier Fraser and Commander Hennigan, looking at what is happening in their sort of remit. In terms of R&R, Towie division still operating in John Chard House. Numbers are slowly increasing, but there's room for a lot more, so we're trying to increase that. But what Towie are going to be doing is supporting Cambria in the Freedom of Cardiff on the 25th of March, which will be a good event, albeit the wrong city in Wales, being a Swansea boy. And International Women's Day on the 8th of March as well. Planning is going ahead for that, and there'll be representatives from Cambria and Towie division going to that. That's as well as the national tasking and that Hugh mentioned earlier. In terms of the Sea Cadets, Swansea Sea Cadets primarily, they're planning for another successful year. What do I mean by that? Last year was really good for competitions and recruiting, and thank you very much for giving us the opportunity as a cadet organisation to be at the air show. The numbers increased brilliant and still are, so we look to support that again this year. But also for competitions, the competition season is starting this weekend with the football. He was kindly let the Sea Cadets use his facility down in the West Cross there for the drill competition. That's on the 19th, and then from that there's a 12-month foot program. As well as that, there's courses going on. But the cadets will support in terms of Swansea and West Wales by using the right chains of command by Sue Gittins, who's now the district officer for West Wales, or we can farm out to the various commanding officers in West Wales district to support local and national events as well. That's all I have for now. Thank you.
Steve, do you want to give an air update if that's possible?
Yes, can do, Hugh. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Chair. Wing Commander Steve Fry on behalf of the Officer Commanding 614 Squadron, based in Cardiff, but with reservists right across South Wales, including myself here in Swansea. So what has the RAF Reserve been doing since the last meeting? The main focus across the entire force, not dissimilar to what you just heard from Lieutenant Commander Andy Davis, is recruiting. There has been retention continues to be an issue post-COVID in the reserve space. I think people have got used to working from home and that sort of isolation that comes with it, and getting out and going into a reserve centre is a little more of a challenge than it was prior to COVID. So retention is an issue, and as a consequence, recruiting is even more of a focus for us in the RAF Reserve. I'm pleased to say that I've been working on a project for and with the Officer Commanding at 614 Squadron, and like Andy, being a Swansea boy myself, I have promoted and encouraged that we look to recruit and focus on Swansea. It's always been a good recruiting ground for the military, and with the blessing of Hugh, actually, who's in the meeting there with you, we've got the potential of having a remote flight based at the Grange in West Cross within the Army Reserve Centre. Very early days, still in plan, but I'm hoping that we in this group will see a more active Royal Air Force Reserve in and around West Glamorgan and Neath Port Talbot as we try to grow the force. In terms of mobilisations and people supporting the regular force from across 614 Squadron area of responsibility, there are reservists who are normally employed in the area in their civilian capacity who are currently deployed on operations in Cyprus, the Falkland Islands, and supporting stations around the UK. So that's a brief update, and unless anyone's got any questions, that's me done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. Have anybody got any questions for Hugh, Steve, or Andy? Well, they must be doing a good job today then, because nobody got any questions. A little thing, Hugh, all those dates that we've just been given, we're doing this, we're doing that, it sort of goes over my head. Is there any way you can be sent, sorry, Gareth.
Yes, go
to Gareth.
Yeah, I'll ping this to Gareth, I will.
Right.
Yeah, I failed to send it today, I did.
No,
But
that's
when I
fine.
get back, I'll
No.
put that to Gareth. He puts them into minutes.
Yeah.
So you got that rolling
The date,
agenda there.
the dates are important.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah.
And but I'll forget like I do with names.
So we'll get that through to Gareth. No
Thank you.
problems.
Thank you, everyone. Agenda item 6, Swansea Bay University Health Board Forum.
Thank you, Wendy.
Victoria.
Thank you. So we've been busy over the last couple of months now. We've had a total of 31 referrals, dating back to October. We are a therapist down right now, so it's just me, and I've been a very busy bee keeping up to date with all the assessments so people don't fall back. That does mean that we're going to fall back on our assessment to treatment time, and we're looking at about 5 months, I'm saying at the moment. Which isn't ideal. Hopefully we can get that back down, but we've just had an increase in referrals and we're therapists down, so it's just bad timing. That being said, our assessment time, so from when you come into the service for assessment, that is still about 3 weeks, so we're still hitting that target, which is good. Our next clinical network meeting for anyone that wants to attend is on the 9th of March. It is a good meeting for networking. It does exactly what it says on the tin. And so you're more than welcome to come if you want. Just let me know. And we've got my contact details. And then just speak to Anna. So Anna is our secretary and she's the person that is organised. Don't leave it to me. Send it to Anna. It won't get done if it's sent to me. The other thing to let you know is I think last time we were talking about seeing prisoners. So someone sent me a contact in Swansea Prison and she's been fantastic. So that's Rachel, one of the mental health nurses. Basically, I'm in now. So my name is known. I'm getting people making contact, which is exactly what we're looking at. I've had, I was invited to a last veterans meeting. I've been invited to the next one, which is, I want to say next week. February. There we go. 17th of February. So I'll be going to that. And I think that's a really good opportunity to get in there and get your face known. I even got a tour of the prison last time I went. It's great. The other thing to let you know, I keep going on about it, is our trial looking at EMDR online versus in person. I've referred 2 people into it so far, and I've started therapy with 1 person, and it's going, we're doing great. It's looking really good so far, so I'm really pleased with that. And that's probably about it for me.
Well, thanks, Victoria. Just a question from me. The referrals, what do you think, which I'm noticing, the time of the year?
Always time of the year.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Because it's just gone crazy.
Yeah.
Whether you know what I mean, but it's a bit, I suppose, daunting to many, but to somebody with issues, it's, it must be horrendous. So.
Yeah, so we're having people triggered for various reasons, whether it be what you see in the news, the difficulties they're having with everything that's going on right now. And so we're seeing, it's a definite lots. I'm doing lots of assessments right now.
Yeah.
You talked. Sorry. So you talked about the referral time, assessment to treatment time, sorry, is 5 months. What's been the impact of that on critical responses? So I know what the process is in England, because it's op courage, that's largely where the veterans we deal with. And in NHS Wales, if someone is, acutely at risk of suicide within the next sort of 24 hours, what's that looking like at the moment?
So the process would be the same for anyone who's presenting as suicidal. So if I had a client that come to me suicidal, we have something called a single point of access team, and they are fantastic, let me tell you. So I ring a number, I tell them about my worries about my client, and they will make contact with them, and they will see, they've got like a triage system that they use, and that could be seen within the next day, the next week, the next couple of weeks. But they will assess accordingly. And if they say, oh no, we think they're okay, and I don't think they are, then I can go back to them. So that remains the same. We are slightly different to Op Courage. Op Courage is more signposting in England.
Yeah.
We do the whole thing. So we do the whole psychosocial assessment followed by an intervention, which is non-psychological therapy. Yeah. So that's either CBT normally or EMDR. And we offer up to 16 sessions of therapy. for the clients?
Yeah, so we've had op courage briefings at work, and we also had somebody from your wider team, which I can't remember what
Probably Neil Kitchener.
But actually Wales is ahead of the curve in this, very much.
We are well ahead of the
Yeah.
Yes, we are the gold standard.
Thank you.
Not that I'm blowing my own trumpet.
Just one, Victoria.
Was anybody else, sorry, who, got any questions for Victoria? Who?
Yeah, just one, Victoria. Anna's email address.
Anna.Smith. I think she's anna.smith@wales.nhs.uk. Just confirm that.
Thank you.
She's Anna.Smith, number 2.
Well done, that woman.
Okay, everybody. Thank you, Victoria. Always I like to hear what you've got to say. Agenda item 7, supporting pupils from service family. We've got introduction, Emma Reeves.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So I've just taken over from Yasmin, who's just had a gorgeous little baby girl. Came into post on the 15th of December with everybody being poorly, so I've done lots of reading. So still learning the role, I've been getting involved with Swansea and the 25th of April and Armed Forces Day event. So that's something I'm looking forward to. Making lots of notes, making lots of emails, and just picking up on some information. Just quick background on myself: army wife of 18 years, husband still serving in the army, 2 service children. So the job is quite personal to myself. One of my children is off to university this year, and the other one is just about to take on his GCSEs. So quite happy to look into all the support and everything we can give to those schools and all schools across West Wales. But yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Emma. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Any questions for Emma? That's an easy one for you. Then get into the role and then they'll start asking you questions.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, that's quick again. Agenda item 8, update from panel members. If anybody would like to speak about what they do or want to say a few words. Who said that?
Hi, just an update with the Swansea RV. We were in the Poppy Lounge in Sketty, but now due to parking restrictions there, we've moved now to the Scouts Hut in Bryn Road. We're open on a Tuesday evening from 6 until 8. Also, we've got a few things going on at the moment. We've got surfing lessons at Caswell Bay for all the veterans. Got 8 places there. It's good. It's cold, very cold. But recently, because the surf hasn't been there, Phil Jones from SoFit has been taking us on for cold water therapy as well. So we must be a glutton for punishment. But be going there without bathers on. Without bathers, without wetsuits on. Yeah. Yeah. Also coming up, we've got free guitar lessons, which is due soon, and personally, we'll be setting up an art therapy group as well through the Veterans RV. Thank you.
Thank you. I did see you cold, but I didn't see you without a bather, so that's okay. Anyone else want to say something? I think.
Hi, Steve Sullivan from Adferiad Recovery. Veteran Services team. The Change Step peer mentor group are now not taking any referrals. The funding for that stream is coming to an end and will actually finish in March. They will triage, or there is somebody manning the phone lines for triage, but they're not taking any referrals as they were doing. As people may be aware, Finola finished with the strategic pathway team before Christmas. We now have, or I now have a new manager, Neil Lawman, he was in the PMenta team. V4P will be carrying on, and that is funded until the end of the year. I myself will be working with the non-funded veteran cohort. That will include the Positive Pathways projects that funding has now ended, but also new projects. And I'll be scouting around to invite them into the network. So when the funding for V4P finishes, that's the end of the year, as I said, we will, or the network will continue in some guise, but that's work in progress. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I think Gareth said Andrew wanted to speak next, and then I'll come to you, Adrian, okay?
Oh, thank you, Andy. I run a company, Dryad Bushcraft Community Interest Company. So we specialise in bushcraft and survival courses on Gower. We do have some funding. It's rural development plan funding, so it's very Gower specific, and it has to be spent by the end of February. So we're hoping to run a few sessions at least for veterans. It's part of a pilot project aiming at establishing the benefits of social prescribing in the outdoors and nature therapy. So far, everything is looking very positive. I think there's a lot of data to suggest that outdoor activities like naked swimming and things like that are beneficial. Also, being outside, being in the woods seems to be beneficial. I mean, what we're hoping to do is to sort of establish a long-term precedence on Gower and beyond, to be able to deliver regular sessions for anyone that would benefit from it, whether it'll be weekly, monthly. At the moment, I say it's at a very early stage. We're looking for people to participate, but we do have a long-term plan. Something else that may be of interest is an aspect that we've been looking at to deliver virtually. Now, we've noticed that a lot of people that may benefit from nature therapy aren't able to attend, either for mental health reasons or physical reasons, or even transport issues. So we are hoping to create a platform where we can deliver from the outdoors to people at home on their devices, with the long-term aim of getting them to engage in the outdoors in the future. So it's something we're looking at. As I say, at the moment, we're really under pressure to deliver the remainder of this funding by the end of February. But beyond that, we have some big plans. So it'd be really good to keep in touch with anyone that has an interest in that. Thank you.
Hi, can I refer people to you, please? I've got loads of people that would love to come to your outdoor sessions.
Oh, you definitely can. That would be wonderful.
So we need to link in then.
We should, yeah. It's been strange. I mean, I do have a fairly extensive network, or at least I thought I did, but I'm starting to see the holes in my own network, which is why it's really good to link up with people like you. So that's yeah, that would be wonderful. Okay. Oh, thanks so much.
I guess Victoria would be jumping in there. I think it's a brilliant thing to get people, and it does make you feel better. I mean, I hate gardening, but if I feel a bit down, out I go, cut 3 lawns, and I'm feeling great again.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. I'm very, very good.
Brilliant. No, that's so. Any questions at all? If you if you don't want to ask now, just ping me an email or something like that. And I think I'm not sure if my details are on here, but I will. I'll be in touch with anyone that needs it. So
yeah, I've got your email now. So
great. That'll be brilliant. I should also add as well, so a part of the project that we're launching, we're calling it Wellbeing Through Woodcraft. It's aiming to try and find best practice for social prescribing. We are finding that the links aren't connected at the moment, which is, the links between GPs for GP referrals and ourselves as activity providers aren't quite there. So really, we're looking to try and bridge any issues that may be there. So hopefully, Victoria, we can discuss that in more detail.
You should come to our clinical network meeting as well.
I'd love to. Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Thank you. Adrian.
Hi guys, Adrian Raby from British Training Board. Just an update on what we've been doing over the last 3 months. So in October, we had our security event, which was held in the Village Hotel, in line with the Border Force project we've got going on, which is getting veterans into Border Force to fill the gaps they've got in that particular area at the moment. So Wendy came across that, which was great. So thank you very much for that, Chair. And we had a good gathering on the evening. It was a good talk off the Border Force as well. On the back of that, we also got a grant off the council again, which I'm really grateful for, to buy some virtual reality headsets, which we've been using now for veterans within the community who can't make it into the centre to do training courses or be able to go into interviews. So we've been posting them out and using them, and that's turned into a really good project. So much so now that we've actually built our own virtual reality portal, which can be used by the wider community now. It also includes a portal to the civil service as well, underneath our Proud programme. So those of you who don't know, the Proud programme is a coaching and mentoring programme that's designed for service leavers, veterans and their families to get them into the jobs that are vacant within the civil service. And at the moment, across the whole of the UK is 33,000 jobs that are available. A lot in Border Force and a lot in the Immigration Department. I was on with Immigration this morning, again, with another load of jobs that are looking to recruit across the whole of the UK. So that's a really good project we're involved with. The funding aspects, we've still got funding for facilities management across Wales. So there's no cost to the individual off the back of that. Again, that's veterans, their families, as long as they're over the age of 18, who want to get into facilities management or want to do some career development. And in fact, if they want to, they can go into jobs within the civil service on the back of that within the Proud programme. We've also been offered by Berwyn Prison up north, again, to go with the Proud programme, guaranteed interviews and guaranteed jobs within the prison for educators and for prison officers and administration staff. And they're also offering a £10,000 relocation grant for anybody who takes up that offer. So if you've got any more details on that, again, give us a shout for that. That's good. And security training. Again, we've got funding until July for security training. Again, this is part of the Proud programme to get people into work. And it's aligned with the College Cigar, who are funding it through Welsh Government funding. So again, if you've got any of your candidates who are interested in security, I don't just mean the jumping out of buildings and all that sort of stuff. I mean the regular Border Force stuff, administration, education, wherever they want, we can accommodate that sort of programme. And that's about it for me. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you, Adrian. Any questions for Adrian? No? Can't see anybody. Thank you. Anybody else got anything? Tony? You'll have to wait now. I've asked Tony.
Just to give you an update on the Armed Forces Bikers, to date, we've handed out £700,000. That's to all veterans. So if anybody would like to come along and see us, they're welcome to. Wendy came to one of our tours last year. Thoroughly enjoyed yourself.
No secrets now. No secret.
Apart from my one there because I
Yeah. Well, perhaps it's a good thing you went there. Thank you. Phil Flowers.
Hi, Wendy and everybody. Apologies for not being there in person. It's a work thing as usual. I represent the Royal Air Force Air Cadets for the whole of South Wales up to Aberystwyth, Royal Air Force Association, the Royal British Legion. I'm glad to say that the Royal British Legion has a huge number of events this year in Swansea, which will include the Festival of Remembrance and a Garden of Remembrance. And we've got 4 corporates on board to the sum of £2,000 to put a Garden of Remembrance outside Morgan's, which will be interesting. One of those is Kia Construction. I've got about 15 volunteers today from the British Legion, generally the ones that collect in the market. They're having a meal in Miller and Carter, so they're obviously enjoying themselves in my absence. The Royal Air Force Association, that committee is now flourishing. We've got 18 members, and once again, thanks to Hugh for his support in that we meet in West Cross. So it's great that these veterans are still having access through to some sort of military establishment. And this year we've got a trip to the Sunderland Museum for them down in West Wales. We've got a trip to RAF Bryce Norton, where we're hopefully going to get them a flight, and the National Arboretum. So the Royal Air Force Association is alive and doing really well. The Royal Air Force Air Cadets, it's a massive year for us, and the impetus is going to be on recruiting. We're doing exceptionally well at the moment. We've got 560 cadets throughout South Wales and 180 staff, and we're looking to raise that to 800 cadets and about 250 staff. Recruiting is really, really good in all aspects, and the local squadrons in West Cross, Crossisland and Swansea are all doing exceptionally well. And we've got a camp on Gower in the St Maddox Christian Centre in May, and we've had a grant for that to enable us to allow more cadets to stay and veterans as well. The other thing we're focusing on is trying to encourage veterans to join the Royal Air Force Air Cadets and any of the cadet forces really, because they do still have something to give, and you know, it may be something that they want to sort of be associated with. So if anybody's got any ideas for us to recruit any veterans into the cadet forces, especially the Royal Air Force Air Cadets, then we'd be really interested to do that and provide them with the training, you know, that they can play a major part in the cadet forces, because it doesn't just end when they come out of their parent service. We've been heavily working with the Army Cadet Force, and Andy, and listening to what you say, I need to get hold of Sue Gittins, because the Royal Air Force Air Cadets, we've provided archery lowland leaders qualifications, so individuals can take cadets out up to a certain level on mountainous terrain, climbing wall courses, clay target courses, and kayaking, canoeing. And the Army Cadets have a lot on that courses. I just want to be mindful that we don't miss out on the Sea Cadets for that as well. Looking at the parade in Swansea is disappointing, and such is the case in Neath as well, because we lost the Royal Air Force Association parade. But we are in Porthcawl this year because they've got a pedestrianised area such as Swansea. But when I will.
Phil, you are breaking up. Do you want to put
the leader?
Phil?
It's the 80th anniversary of the Dam Busters.
Phil, hello. You're breaking up really badly. Do you want to put your camera off? See if that helps.
Yes, I can. Yeah, okay. Is that better? Hello, is that better?
Not really, but carry on.
Can you hear anything I'm saying?
We can hear it, but it's breaking up all the time.
Okay. Just to say that it's the 80th anniversary of the Dam Busters this year, and potentially there could be a parade during the air show for that, because we obviously have the Battle of Britain Memorial fighting at the same time. So on behalf, in relation to the Royal British Legion, the Royal Air Force Association and the Royal Air Force Air Cadets, we're in a really good place. But yeah, if there are any veterans out there that want to come and give their time and be qualified at lots of different activities and qualifications, then it may be something that they're interested in, and that's about it, really.
Thank you,
Sorry
Phil.
about it, break it up.
It's okay. Would have been far easier if you were sitting by me.
No, yeah.
It isn't. Phil, can you, just a quick question, can you send your form back in accepting the grant?
Yes, please.
No,
Can
not
I
yes,
have
please.
Spencer to send me
I'm
another
asking
one?
you. I'm asking you to send it in.
Yes.
To receive the money.
You were in Mexico. You were
Yeah,
in Mexico when I
I've
sent it out
changed over
originally, and it's never come back.
So when you get off the
No,
off here now, do it.
I've changed over to okay, we'll do.
We
Okay,
can't hear you. We can't hear you. So just do it as soon as you can. Do it.
Thank you.
Gareth Jones would like to say something.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gareth Jones. I'm one of the veteran staff at HMP Swansea.
Yes, okay.
Just wanted to let you know.
Okay, thank you.
We currently have 11 veteran prisoners who are all trained now as veteran mentors. So they take on vulnerable prisoners and take them under their wing for their daily life whilst in prison. As previously mentioned, we have our monthly veterans meeting coming up on the 17th of February. I believe invites have gone out to respective organisations to come in and have a look. If anybody else is interested in coming into the prison to see what we do, by all means, you're more than welcome to come in on our next veterans meeting. We currently have a dedicated veterans wing where we house all our veterans together, and we do various activities with them throughout for the daily tasks. The veteran staff, there's 4 of us in total who run our mentors. We have a visit to HMP Park in the end of February, where we're going to link up with veteran mentors from various prisons across South Wales, including Park, Cardiff, Ascot and Prescoed, where we all share a common goal then to bring our work ethic and what we do for our mentors and spread it out into the wider prison community. So yeah, as I said, if anybody is interested in coming in and seeing what we do in the prison, you're more than welcome to come in. Maybe you won't leave, but you certainly come in.
Thank you, Gareth. Anybody like to ask Gareth anything? Okay. Can just put you in.
Terrible at this. So Gareth, I came to the last prison meeting before Christmas. I'm coming to the next one.
Yeah.
And I've also done a visit to HMP Berwyn a few years ago now. And I've got to say to anyone who's not familiar with what's going on at Swansea Prison, it's absolutely phenomenal, the work that's going on there. It's so inspiring. And Gareth, I've spread the word to the regimental headquarters that I work with, which I'll come back to when I give some points later, if that's okay, to make people aware of what's going on. Because to my surprise, I started engaging with the wider army chain of command about one individual in particular that I had a big concern about. And this is all in conjunction with Swansea Veterans Hub. And I thought that I might have a bit of a problem persuading people to feel sympathetic towards offenders and so on. The opposite. There is so much good work going on out there, but just as I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, the Welsh Ramiers. Just as you said, the linkages are just not there. And I think that's exactly the same across every charity that we work with. There's so much stuff going on. The army doesn't know about it half the time. So I just wanted to say, Gareth, the work that's going on there is inspirational.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you at the end of the month.
Thank you. The day of lockdown, I was supposed to have gone into the prison, and that was just, and I haven't been since. So, and I can't come on the 17th. So I'll get this. I'll go on my own. I'll get in touch with Gareth and I'll go on my own. Maybe that would be better. Thank you, Gareth.
We do have a sort of an inquiry that we're looking to pursue. We're looking to invite Johnny Mercer to come to the prison, the Veterans Minister, and to show him around, to show him what work we're doing. I know he's quite busy down in Plymouth and his constituencies down there. I don't know if there's something that you could push through with an invite, or would you like us to pursue it?
Thank you, Gareth. Has anybody else got it? Natalie?
Hello everyone. So I'm wearing two hats today. I'll just follow on from what Chunky gave you the update on with the Armed Forces Bikers. So Chunky is our regional rep and I'm the volunteer fundraising officer. Firstly, I just want to thank Councillor Lewis and the team that administer the Swansea Veterans Fund for the grants that you gave us last year. We held our Boyer Bash last August, which is our national fundraising event. And we had funding from Bethan and from Swansea Veterans Fund. And we ended up donating back to the Armed Forces Bikers £3,317. And it was a wonderful event that over 70 people came, didn't they? And this year it's going to be on the 11th of August. So it's a 2-night event. So it's the Friday to the Sunday. Anybody's invited. We have live music, we have food, camping. And if you do ride a motorbike like Chunky and I, we have a ride out on the Saturday as well. So we'll give you more information closer to the date. But we hope to see you again, Councillor Lewis.
Hope so, Natalie. Hope so. I felt like a film star. Did you want to say photos?
Famous.
And they don't know. I hate having photos taken. So no, it was very good, and I applaud the bikers because, you know, they're a little bit frightening.
No, we're not.
Yes, you are when you are dressed up. You are. There's no two bones about it. You are frightening to look at, and you think, what are we going to get here? And they're the most amazing bunch of people I've ever seen because that's all they want to do is raise money.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they might look weird on times, but you know, I might come dressed like that next time.
There's all just the biggest misfits going.
There's actually no other charity quite like us in the UK because 100% of our fundraising goes back to veterans, which is why the grant funding that we get from you and from Bethan, you know, is so important because we can honestly say that it all goes back to the veterans. We're a national charity. So you can find us on the Charity Commission website if anybody wanted to look. There's complete transparency with our annual reports to the funding, you know, the financials. Like Chunky said, to date, because we're a national charity, £700,000 we've granted to veterans. So that's the way that we do the business. So we fundraise, and then we have a team of grant managers, and they manage their caseloads, and then the whole of the Board of Trustees will decide whether or not to grant the grant or not. Mostly it's quite positive, isn't it? They don't turn down many grants. Yeah, so there's a lot of due diligence around that as well, the grant giving. And the good thing about it as well is that veterans can apply themselves. They can self-refer, and they can apply for grants of up to £2,000. And the grant forms and the eligibility are all on the website. So if you Googled Armed Forces Bikers, you can, if you're working with any veteran, and I suppose the main ethos of the charity is to relieve veterans out of poverty. So whatever that means, be it a homeless veteran if they needed 1 month's rent and a bond, or if they needed white goods or brown goods, or if they needed funding for a course that will get them back into employment. So it's all around this ethos of relieving veterans out of poverty. So I just wanted to kind of just give you a further update on that. So that's my personal interest, my volunteer role there. But professionally, I'm the local area coordinator for Swansea Council covering Gower. And this is how we met Andrew last Friday. Chunky and I actually attended one of his spoon carving courses. And I went to Camp Dryad, which is in Parkwoods, which I didn't realise was such a fabulous resource. And we had a wonderful day. And Andrew really wants to reach out and find groups of veterans that can access the excellent work that you do there. It was a wonderful day. Maybe you could even come to the next one if you wanted to. We were all sitting there carving spoons. We took our spoons home, didn't we, Chunk? Really, really good. But local area coordination, if anybody doesn't know about that, there's no eligibility criteria, there's no assessment, and there's no timescales. It's a very strength-based approach to supporting people in the community. And Swansea Council, as Councillor Lewis will tell you, really buys into the strength-based approach. It's to help communities be resilient and cohesive, and it's to help individuals build resilience. And it can look like whatever that person needs. So it's what if somebody is new into the area, they can be introduced to local area coordination, and we can walk alongside those people. We can help them to introduce them to other people, make friends, signpost them to groups and activities, go along to those groups and activities with them, and we can also I could waffle on lots, but local area coordination, full city and county coverage, so there's 23 of us covering the whole of the city and county of Swansea. So if you're walking alongside anybody who you may feel that needs some help in the community, again, Swansea Council's website, there's a local area coordination page. Have a little look, and it will tell you everybody's name, telephone number, email address, and the areas they cover. So it depends on where the person lives, will depend on who, what local area coordinator they'll, could engage with. So any questions?
See anybody? Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So I've got some points to pass on behalf of Swansea Veterans Hub. Wayne Jenkins gives his apologies. He couldn't make it because of work, and neither could Kirsty. His points are just to advertise the fact that the hub, which is at St Helens Rugby Ground, is now open every Tuesday between 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock, and a Saturday between 10 and 12. It was very difficult for me to say 1 o'clock then, not 1300 hours, and I remembered my audience. Swansea Veterans is now, I'll just say those times again, 11 and 1 on a Tuesday and 10 till 2 on a Saturday. Swansea Veterans Hub is now a member of ASDIC, Association of Service Drop-In Centres. It is also registered with swansea.gov as a safe, warm space, helping out the community thanks to the grant being awarded. Tea, coffee, soup, biscuits and games all rounded off with a friendly, safe atmosphere is available and has already been utilised by a number of individuals from the community. Swansea Veterans Hub remained open over the festive period, and over 40 veterans and their families visited the hub during this period. Christmas Eve, which I attended, bacon, egg rolls were handed out to veterans and presents to the children. And the ones left over were taken to the homeless in Swansea Town Centre and handed out to very grateful individuals. Swansea Veterans Hub have now voted on their new members committee in preparation to become a CIO. Can someone remind me what that is? CIO charity. Sorry, I should have researched that before I came. And it is now working with the local community involving veterans in custody on a community project. Interested parties have been identified and will be meeting up at the project very soon. I think this alludes to the fact that the last time we went to the prison, there are people sitting there with incredible skills. There's a carpenter, there are people there who have got really tangible skills that we can use to make life better for everyone. I've touched on the prison stuff that we've done. It's phenomenal. I won't go back over that. The points from myself is I just wanted to pick up the fact that, sorry, I didn't catch your name, Yasmin's replacement about So my son is in school in Swansea. His father, who's my ex-husband, is a serving officer who is far away and has been far away and nearer. And it's a difficult situation. And my son does feel like a complete oddity at school. So last year when we had the month of the military child, which I'd never heard of before, and he went to a rugby session down in Penclawdd Rugby Club, I think it was. That was really nice for him to feel part of something special. So I'll definitely be looking out and wanting to get involved in that this year. I wanted to touch again upon the fact that there's absolutely amazing work being done, but even within the army, a lot of the time we don't know about it. What we found in dealing with veterans who are going through the terrible ordeal of having to give evidence about stuff they did when they were 19 in 1972 in downtown Belfast, is there is huge, amazing work going on out there, but it's really, really difficult for them to navigate it. So we work very closely with COBSIO, which is the Federation of Service Charities and Organisations, all the big charities, ABF, Royal British Legion, SAFA, all of the big ones, directly with MOD, directly with the UK vets. And honestly, not a week goes by where we don't go, we didn't know that happened. So don't feel you're alone in thinking, how do you get through this? Because we feel exactly the same and we're on the inside. Speaking of that, I've got absolutely excellent links with all of the regimental headquarters for anyone who's not aware of what a regimental headquarter is. These are basically, you could call them a kind of association attached to that's sort of the family club of the part of the army that you're in. So for example, there's a Royal Military Police Association. That is headed up by someone, usually a very senior former officer, who is an employee of the MOD. So there are levers we can pull there. We work with them really closely in providing care for veterans and navigating them through the legal process. There is tons of money out there, tons of it, all in different pots, and loads of support, loads of stuff going on. Wales sometimes feels like it gets overlooked on this, and I know because I worked in Brecon for 2 years, worked really closely with Welsh Government and Cardiff City Council and lots of different local authorities. And the armed forces have a much lower profile, especially in South Wales, because that's where I'm from, than you would in Southern England. Walk down a street in Wiltshire, chuck a stick, and you will hit someone who's either in the army, knows someone in the army, with a really good awareness of service life. It's not the case in South Wales, is my experience. So I'm absolutely committed to raising that visibility. So please, I brought my business cards with me. Please use me. If you want it in on the inside of the army, you need a number for UK vets. So you're not getting something, please let me know, because this benefits our veterans. So I'm very happy to do that legwork. Just in terms of what I actually do, my day job, veterans and what some of them are being subjected to in terms of being prosecuted or asked to give evidence in inquests to do with incidents in Northern Ireland, that's still ongoing. And a word to everyone, that is going to ramp up when the Northern Ireland Legacy and Reconciliation Bill becomes law. It's on its way through the House of Parliament. It's currently in the committee stage. Anyone who's got dealings with veterans, you will come to hear about this. And basically, it's roughly speaking, it's being touted as an amnesty for those who were who've done anything wrong during the Northern Ireland Troubles. It's a lot more nuanced than that. So please don't read what you read in the Daily Mail. There is no witch hunt of veterans, because actually there's a lot of disquiet. There's absolutely no support for this in Northern Ireland. Nonetheless, at the moment, we're working on the premise that this will be made law. And why is it going to affect you and the veterans and the communities that you service? Because it is going to create an oral history of the Troubles for a start, and any member of family can ask for the head of the commission, which has not yet been appointed, can ask for a review into the incident involving their loved one, which means there are a lot of veterans out there right now who are probably thinking, oh my God, am I going to get a knock on the door? And they will get a knock on the door if the bill is made legal. That's what my branch is about, supporting those veterans. Yes, I'm military police. It's not a military police job. This is about supporting the veterans through it, liaising with the lawyers, liaising with the MOD on their behalf. And we've got veteran visiting officers who are regionally based. We've got one covering Wales. He's in Swansea tomorrow as it goes, because we've just picked up one of our first veterans in South Wales, and he's in Llansamlet. Who would have known that there's a person in Llansamlet who has the shadow of Northern Ireland hanging over him? And while we're on that, we're about to have the statutory inquiry into Afghanistan. If you saw the Panorama documentary last year about the behaviour of some special forces in Afghanistan, there is now a statutory inquiry which will happen into that by Lord Chief Justice Haddon Cave. That will affect a few veterans, but unfortunately the effect that it has on the wider veteran community, from our youngsters up, people in their 20s who've served in Iraq and Afghanistan, they're already worried about it, because they know that actually the lawyers could come knocking, the police could come knocking 10, 15, 20 years after they've left the army. We've already seen in some of our regimental associations the effect that's having on people, the worry. So from my experience, what's happening with the Northern Ireland veterans now, who are about the 60 to 80 bracket, that is just a taste of what might be to come for our younger generation. I don't know if you would agree with me there, Hugh?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's concerning that, you know, it can all be pulled back up what boys and girls have done. But the support is there, and that's the main thing. And the boys and girls have got to realise that that support is there, and they've got to tap into it to help them through any investigation that they are facing.
Yeah, there is help. At the moment, this free legal support will be slightly different with the Northern Ireland Legacy and Reconciliation Bill, and I'm happy to talk anybody about it. I'm sort of the SME for the Army at the moment. There is support there. We've got phenomenal veteran visiting officers. They're all ex-serving themselves. They're now reservists. They're incredible individuals who will go anywhere and to any lengths to help our veterans. So yes, please tap into me. Like I say, leave my cards. Don't be shy. I love getting involved. I'm really committed to this. So thank you very much for the time. Thank you.
It's okay. Just on a lighter note, I never believe anything in the Daily Mail anyway. So just going. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. No. Okay.
That's it. Okay, right. Nice to see you all.
Just to say that, do you only support the Veterans Hub? Because there are other clubs within Swansea.
I'm not formally affiliated to
Right,
anyone.
okay.
I just happened to get involved with Swansea Veterans Hub because I didn't realise I've only been back in the Swansea area.
Yeah, there's a veterans club.
Yeah.
They got their 5th anniversary this year.
Yeah.
So they've been helping Swansea veterans for a long time.
There's incredible stuff going on up there. Like I say, I'm not aligned to Swansea
Right,
Veterans
okay.
Hub. I'm just a friend to anyone who wants me to get involved and use my connections to support whatever anyone around this table's doing.
I'll have your card when you finish.
Yeah, thank you.
Ross, sorry I didn't see you.
Thank you, Councillor. I just wanted a small update because obviously we're not really up and running, and I just wanted to pick up on the point that you were making down there, Victoria, about green prescribing and social prescribing. I think that'll be a wonderful opportunity at Garrison Farm when we're up and running, and hopefully that'll be later in the year. 2 sites down the Gower and 1 site in Carmarthen. I'm sure that might work for you. You have a chat.
Fantastic, thank you.
No problem.
Maybe a link up, Ross. A good idea. Has anybody else got anything to say? Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. Afternoon, Wendy. Nick from the Veterans Club. Just a quick update. We've expanded our drop-in sessions to 2 a week now. Monday daytime and a Wednesday evening. We're also doing our beekeeping. That's proven to be very successful, and as well as selling of the honey. The Hilltop Retreat, which Swansea Council very kindly funded, should be up and running in spring when we get slightly warmer weather. And the intention then is to operate that 3 times a week on a Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday between 11 and 3 o'clock. So that's it. The Hilltop, it's a safe space. It's a wooden port cabin where if people find that they're overwhelmed, they can, I can't tell you that. If you want to use it, you'll have to, because it is in Swansea and it's on private property and you'll have to be escorted. If you want to use it, you need to contact us via email.
Thank you, Nick. It's I'm glad to see this movement now again with the club. I mean, it's always been there because I've visited down Davati, and I've always admired the work that Sandy have done anyway. He's never says no to anybody, so I'm really pleased. And I think I'm opening the, well, you called it a porta cabin, I call it a shed, but there we are. So.
I think what I call shed, the shed sounds.
Sheddy, yeah. Thank you. Thank you all for coming in here. It's been great to see so many, as I said at the beginning, and thank you everybody online. See you in, when is it? April. April, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.